Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video is a video that I am very excited about. I have not done one of these videos in so incredibly long, but today we are going to be doing a foundation first impressions, and the foundation that we are going to be trying today is definitely a first for me and on my channel, and that is the Laura Mercier Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation. I did receive this in PR. I am on Laura Mercier's PR list. I don't know how that happened, but I am so incredibly grateful. And I asked you guys on Instagram a while ago if you wanted to see a first impressions on it, and a lot of you said yes. So that is what we are doing here today. I am super excited to try this out. I did get the shade 1W1, which is Ivory. It does look a little bit yellow toned on camera and kind of next to my skin tone, so hopefully we can get this to match. If not, you know, we're wearing a little bit of a turtleneck for a reason today. Okay! To tell you a little bit more about this foundation, I did look it up on Ulta Beauty, and this foundation can be sold on Ulta's website for $48. The reviews aren't too bad. It has about 3.6 out of 5 stars. A lot of people were saying that this would be a good wedding foundation, a good bridal foundation, and then other people were pretty disappointed because they were saying that it wasn't that hydrating. They were saying that it clung to dry patches a little bit, so I'm very curious to see how this is going to work on my skin. My skin personally, I do have oily skin, but I am noticing the older I get, the more combination skin I have, so sometimes my skin will be very dry, sometimes it will be extremely oily where you could fucking skate on that shit. Today it is a little more on the dry side, but we are going into winter here where I live, and it is so damn cold out, my nipples could probably cut glass. No exaggeration. Some of the other products that we have to try with this foundation today is we also have a Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer, which I do have a couple of these and they're really nice. This one is the illuminating one. Me personally, I'm not that big of a fan of illuminating primers because since my skin is so oily, that's like the last thing I want for my skin is to look oily. And then the other product we have, which I'm super excited, is the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Long Wear Concealer, which I'm very excited. This is also in the shade 1W, so it should go underneath my eyes really well. And then to apply the foundation, we actually have a Laura Mercier Flawless Finish Makeup Sponge. How freaking cool is this guy? Like, look at that unique shape. When I saw this, I was like, what? And I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. Oh wow, okay, so it's definitely a lot more firm than I thought it was going to be. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen to this when we get it wet. But I mean, it is going to make it really easy to get underneath the eyes and kind of like around your nose. While I think this would be great for concealer, I don't see how, I don't know, we're just gonna have to try it. And then we also have a Laura Mercier Candle Glow Sheer Perfecting Powder. This is in number 1. I have never tried these before, and someone actually told me to be really careful with this stuff because it can make your face look like you put highlighter all over it. So I may only use this powder in a couple of spots and not really all over. We have a lot of Laura Mercier stuff to try today, so without further ado, let me zoom you in and we can go ahead and get started with my very first Laura Mercier foundation review. Here we go. So I'm very quickly going to push the hair out of my face real quick. So I am back after getting the sponge nice and wet. I ran it underwater for quite a bit and it honestly still feels pretty firm. So I really don't know how this is going to go for like an all over the face thing. So I did actually wet another beauty blender just in case, but I do think that this is going to work really well for underneath the eyeballs. So we will use it for that, but I really don't see how this would be good for like an all over. I will try it. I am so excited. I literally have not even swatched this. I don't even have a clue how this works. So right when you open it up, it does have a very nice fancy looking pump, which I do really like. So I think I'm just gonna go raw dog it and just put it right on my face. So it is very runny. So I think I don't know, I feel like this is going to be kind of like a medium to light coverage, like very light coverage. Okay, so I am going to try this sponge, and we're just going to... It definitely does have a scent. I wouldn't call it like a perfumey scent, but there is definitely a scent there. And yeah, like I suspected, I'm not liking this sponge for all over the face application, so we will come back to this when we do the concealer. And it is blending out really nicely. It almost looks like it's blending out into nothing, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. This would be like a really nice kind of everyday foundation if you're not looking for something super heavy. It is leaving, and now this is only just one coat, it is leaving quite a bit of like redness on my cheeks here, but I mean that's something we can definitely build up with another layer of the foundation. So far I'm not seeing any sort of like clinginess or patchiness. Like looking at my monitor, it actually looks really, really nice. I think it looks pretty good. Like it looks like my skin, just better, you know, like a little bit more airbrushed. I do think the color is actually really nice. When I first put it on, it did look quite yellow, but now that I have it blended out, it actually doesn't look too bad. I think it actually goes really, really nice. We will have to see if this foundation oxidizes at all. I am gonna go in and do another layer just to see how buildable it is. Oh. Why do I always do this with pumps? Why? Every freaking time, you guys. Anyway, I feel like being a full-on cake today, so we are just going to pile this shit on. Okay, second layer. Gosh, it blends out so nicely. Like it almost just blends out into nothing, and then it just leaves your skin looking like, ah. Okay, I want you guys to let me know right now down in the comments, when you're doing your foundation, you bring it down to your neck, do you do this face? Now, every time I film makeup looks, I always edit this part out, but I'm just too damn curious. So do any of you do this face when you do your foundation to get it down your neck? Ready? Please let me know if you do that same face. Okay, so I'm not having any issues blending out the second layer. I am definitely starting to look a little bit cakey. I think, honestly, I think a second layer is definitely a must. Now, maybe not as much as I put on. Shit, you guys, like this foundation literally transformed itself with the second layer. Really, really digging it. It's going to be interesting to see how this is going to wear throughout the day. Is it going to get even more cakey? Is it going to start gathering once my natural oils come through? It's going to be really, really interesting. So we're just going to kind of have to see how this plays out. So here's the foundation. I'll blend it out. You can kind of see what I mean by like a little bit cakey. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do while this kind of simmers is we are going to look up the concealer, and we're going to see what people say about this bad lad. Okay, so looking up this concealer on Ulta, it looks like this goes for $29, and this one has a little bit better reviews than the actual foundation. So this one actually has 4.3 out of 5 stars, and 81% of people who reviewed this product would recommend it to other people. Some people were saying that this does crease a lot, but it is lightweight, it lasts a long time, it's lightweight and creamy. And see how this works. I've never tried a Laura Mercier concealer, so it just has like a nice doe foot, and I'm gonna do one eye at a time because I don't know how this concealer works quite yet. And then I'm going to take the Flawless Finish sponge. Wow, okay, so this is very lightweight and very creamy. Like that blended out like a dream. Almost literally no effort. Do I think it actually covered anything? I don't know. And for like a split second there, it almost looked like it was going to remove the foundation underneath. So I don't know if this is just like too wet or something. Let me try to like squeeze some of the moisture out. I mean, does this eye look brighter than this eye? Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see that, but it almost looks like it was trying to take the foundation off of my cheek right there. So I don't really know if I like this sponge. I mean, I think the idea behind it and I think the concept behind it is cool. I just don't think it's working for me. Right off the bat, what I like about this concealer, it blends out super, super easily. It's really, really lightweight. It actually feels good when you're blending it out. Like, you guys ever have a product like that where you try it out and you go to blend it out and it just feels good? Like, it's just kind of like, whew. That's literally how this concealer felt. It's honestly kind of how the foundation felt as well when I was blending it out. It was just kind of like, ta-da. I am going to go in with a couple of Laura Mercier powders. This first one is the Secret Brightening Powder. I do put this underneath my eyes a little bit. And then for the rest of my face, I am going to go in and set with the iconic Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. I absolutely love this stuff. I think I have like 8 of these because they send me it all the time, which I'm not mad at because I just love that powder so much. So first I just go in with the under eye brightening and just kind of set that concealer that we just applied. Once I have that, I will go in with the translucent setting powder, and not this one because it's new. So let's try this one. Are you open? Yes. And just start setting that face, setting the cake. Instead of frosting the cake, we're powdering the cake. Ooh, your girl is looking set, baby. Yeah. Okay, so here's how my face is looking with the 2 layers of foundation, the concealer, the brightening powder, and the translucent powder. I think my face looks really good. There's just something about Laura Mercier products. They always work so well together. Like, every time you combine a Laura Mercier product together, it's like, oh hey friend, and they literally just mesh together. It's pretty magical. So it does look a little bit scary right now because I feel like foundation always looks better in about 45 minutes to an hour when it actually kind of sinks into your skin. At least for me personally, that's how it is. I feel like I can always tell how it's going to look in about an hour, but as far as like first impressions go, I don't think this looks too bad at all. I definitely look a little bit flat, so I do need some bronzer, blush, brows, all of that good stuff. So I will go off camera really quick and just do a couple of those things, kind of give my skin a minute to kind of absorb everything. I will come back and show you guys, and then as always we will come back throughout the day and do check-ins. I am getting a little bit of a late start today, like it is already 11:11 in the morning. Make a wish. See ya when I look a little less flat, because I kind of look like a potato. Okay guys, so I just finished putting on the rest of my makeup. It is now 5 minutes after 12, so there has been some time for the foundation to kind of sink into my skin and kind of adjust. And I actually am really happy with the way everything looks. I decided to go a little bit pink today with my makeup. I was just feeling very, very pinky, I guess you could say. I really like the way that my skin looks. I like the way that the eye makeup looks. I think that this foundation so far, mind you, we still have the whole rest of the day to go, but I think this foundation looks really nice on the skin. It hasn't really changed color too much. I really like the concealer. I haven't really noticed too much of creasing. I think if you set it right away soon after you apply it, I think you're not going to have too much of a creasing issue. You guys will have to let me know down below what you think of my skin, how you think it looks so far. I'm not having any sort of like weird reactions to it. It's not like burning or hurting my skin, because sometimes with like higher end foundations like this, sometimes they can be very rich and very fragrant, and sometimes it can kind of upset people's skin. So far I'm not having any issues like that, and I'm really happy with the way everything is looking. What? What, Juckleberry? My dog wants attention. You are so needy. You love to be on camera, don't you, Juckleberry? Don't you, Juckleberry? You're so cute! You are so cute! I will come back in a couple of hours and let you guys know if I have anything to add or anything to change about my thoughts on this. So I will see you guys very soon in just a couple of hours. Like I said, it is now 12:10 in the afternoon, so I'll come back in a couple hours and we can go over the foundation again. So I'll see you then. Hey guys, so I'm here to do another quick little check-in. Not another check-in, my first check-in of the day. I think the last time I turned the camera off, it was about 10 after 12, and it is now currently 3:21 in the afternoon, so I have had this foundation on for a pretty substantial amount of time. I think I finished applying it at like 11:11, so it's been about 4.5, almost 5 hours since I've had it on. And if you're looking at like the little faux freckles, I did put on a couple just fake ones with the ColourPop freckle pen. Since I am at home today, it's not like I can, you know, go out and test it or go run a marathon and see how it does, you know, things like that. Especially during a pandemic, I am staying home as much as possible. Basically, what I've been doing since is I have been filming other videos. I took my dogs for a little walk. What else did I do? Oh, I took a little bit of a nap, I took some pictures, and then I had some lunch. So I've just been doing a bunch of little things, and I knew, because you guys know I usually always try to take a nap every single day, and usually the nap is a really good way to kind of test foundations out, because that way you will be able to really tell if, like, you know, if I sweat while I sleep or if it transfers off at all. So I knew as soon as I woke up from my little nap that I was really going to be able to see how this foundation was performing so far. And I am very pleased to announce that it actually looks pretty good. I mean, you can see kind of where it did wear off right here on my neck and chin. You can see quite a bit of breakouts, and I'm also wondering, I don't remember if I had these breakouts here when I started filming this, so I don't know if this foundation is breaking me out at all. But as far as like the rest of it rubbing off, it actually looks pretty good. It does look like it's gathering just the tiniest bit in like my nose creases, and it has worn off, like, you know, right here just for me like doing that. I feel like those kind of things are pretty normal, pretty standard for a foundation. You know, every foundation is going to transfer just a little bit, but other than that, I haven't really noticed anything, you know, super bad or alarming. I think it looks pretty good. I would be happy going out looking like this. I feel like I don't need any sort of powder touch-up or anything like that. You guys will have to let me know what you think so far, and then I will check in one more time to see what it looks like and give my final thoughts on this foundation. So I will see you guys in another couple hours. Hey guys, so I'm here to do my final check-in on the Laura Mercier Flawless Lumiere Radiance Foundation. It is now a couple hours later. It is currently 5:30 at night, and I am starting to get a little bit tired. I am starting to wind down for the night, and also with daylight savings time, it is already like pitch black outside, so I'm just kind of ready to take my makeup off for the day, take a shower, get all nice and cozy, and just relax for the rest of the night. But I really wanted to stop in again and give you guys my final thoughts on this foundation. So the first thing that we are going to address is the little glasses marks, because I was just editing a video and I wear blue filter glasses, whatever you want to call them. I wear these when I'm editing, and when they're sitting on my nose like this, and then when I take them off, as you can see, they did leave quite a bit of like an impression on my nose. So just kind of be aware of that if you are going to be wearing this, you know, when it's going to be sunny or bright out, or if you yourself wear glasses, you're going to be wearing sunglasses, whatever the case may be. Just be aware that they are going to leave little tiny marks right here. As far as that goes, I have noticed that it has rubbed off a little bit kind of by my ears, which, you know, again, isn't like a huge deal. It definitely still looks a little bit thick, but I don't think it looks bad. Again, the color still looks really good. It hasn't oxidized at all. It is starting to look a little bit kind of oily, and it is starting to gather in like this area of my face, which does tend to happen quite a bit when I do wear a foundation. Like almost every foundation does that with me. So it's not like a huge deal, but it's just definitely something that I have noticed for sure. And I do have the contrast down a little bit so you guys can get kind of like a real life picture as to what the foundation looks like on my skin. I mean, by no means does it still look absolutely perfect. I mean, I've had this on since about a little after 11, so what is that, about 6 hours, which I think is a pretty standard time. Almost 7 hours is a pretty standard time for someone to wear foundation. I'm not going to jump the gun and say that it's like one of my new favorite foundations. I think that would be pushing it. I definitely do still want to use this a few more times. I want to try it with, you know, a couple different primers. I want to try it with a couple different powders. I do really like this foundation. I think I had a really good run with it. I like the way that it looked on my skin, especially for the first half of the day. It just looked really, really nice, I thought, and I really liked the way that it felt. I liked the way that it blended out, everything like that. It was really, really nice. So I think I will give this first impressions kind of like maybe 4 out of 5 stars. The 1 star taking away because of how much it does transfer and rub off. As far as the concealer goes, I have no complaints on the concealer. I have not noticed any bit of creasing. I really like the way that it blended out. Really, really happy with the concealer. You guys will have to let me know what you think of my skin personally, if you think it looks ridiculous or if you think it looks good. You know, whatever your opinions may be, go ahead and share them down below. I would love to hear them. Let me know if you guys have ever tried this foundation or you want to try this foundation eventually. Really curious to hear what your thoughts are on that. That is everything that I have for this foundation first impressions. I am so glad I did this video. I'm so glad that I got to try this out. Thank you so much to Laura Mercier for continuing to send me PR with all of the goodies in it. I love trying all the new stuff from you guys. I think it's absolutely great. If you guys enjoyed this video and you yourself liked this foundation, make sure you go down and give this video a huge thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it, and it really does help my channel out a lot. Also, if you are new to my channel and this is the first video of mine that you are seeing, make sure you go down and hit that red subscribe button. I do upload every 3 to 4 days here. But as for the rest of you, I love you guys so very much. But until then, I will see you very soon in my next video. I love you guys. Bye!